Hey, welcome back, value traders. So I thought I'd give you an update to yesterday's live Bitcoin trade that I was performing on a demo account. And I was trying to show you the river value. So today I have a better indicator for you to visualize the river value that I keep harping on about. And hopefully with this new indicator, you'll be able to see and kind of, visualize and see the river value for yourself, so that when price hits it, it's easier for you to place your entry or see where I place the entry on these demo trades that I'm basically trying to teach you in terms of how to use the river value. So anyway, on the Bitcoin chart that we were looking at yesterday, I'm back on the 1 minute, and I kept the trade in play because obviously you can see this is the indicator that I'm talking about there. Can you see the river as it flows upwards? And obviously when it flows downwards, it's a red color. So obviously you know which way, if it's a down river or an up river, if that makes any sense. So yes, so like I said, Bitcoin is trending upwards for the meantime, and there is a target price. The indicator shows you the target price. And by the way, if you're interested in the indicator, comment below and I'll leave a link to TradingView for that indicator, for the river value indicator. So the river value, that blue band there, is basically marking the space between the 8 and the 20 EMA, but instead of having two lines, it's easier to visualize the actual flow of the river. And as you can see, the BTC Bitcoin price tends to adhere to that, and it tends to flow and meander along the river. So yesterday I was showing you how to take the trades as price gets into the river and dips its toe in the river. And as you can see, it's been dipping its toe a few times in the river. And as it dips its toe in the river, that's where you can make your entry positions and enter your trade. So you can enter at the start here as it crosses the river. As price starts to cross the river, you can enter here, you can enter here, and if you make your way upstream, you can enter here, you can enter here, and you can also enter here. So yesterday I entered round about this area here, and it made a massive move away from the river. But like I said, every time price moves away from the river value, it will have to return back to the river value to establish the correct pricing, and then it will then decide whether that correct pricing is a good value for it to be bought up or to be sold down. But in this case, like I said, all this value here around about 64 and below, everybody seems to be agreeing that this value is a good value to buy. So there's a lot of buyers entering this at the moment. So I have a trade on the demo which allows me to hold it until I think it will reach about this level here, before it will then come back to the river value. And on the 5 minute, you can see that it's only started to just make its move. So on the 5 minute, it's got a ways to go. And I'm basically using the 15 minute as my jump off point, because on the 15 minute, you can see that orange line, dotted orange line at the top there, gives you an indication of that peak, the first high. So if Bitcoin manages to reach that, there will be some kind of pullback towards the river. So that's where I've placed the stop, an exit position. So from here to there, the exit position will be at 197 US dollars. And like I mentioned the other day, Bitcoin trades one contract is about, well, one buy-in, one entry price is about 600. So a lot of people tend to leverage these crypto plays. But I'm only just showing you on a demo. So you can imagine if it's, 10 times, 100 times, then what the 64 would be in terms of, its reward. So if it was 10 times, then you'd be making at least, if it hits target, then you'd be making at least almost just under £2,000. But obviously that's all leverage, because that's what crypto is all about, leveraging. So anyways, guys, this is just a quick update to show you that that was the trade I was holding. And the reason I'm holding it is because on the 15-minute, it can go as high as that before there'll be a pullback. And even if I go to the 1 hour, this is even more of an indication that that is the peak, because like I mentioned, I have the 200-day moving average on here. And as soon as it reaches the 200-day moving average, that yellow line, there is going to be some kind of decision whether it will continue to break through the 200-day and then fully go into an uptrend, or there'll be some kind of, sideways trading until it has enough oomph to break through the 200-day, because you can imagine the 200-day is the average of 200 candles, so it needs a lot of pizzazz to break through that level and then move on to the next level, which will be above at least 65k or 64k in this case. Anyway, that's just an update for the river value trade that I'm holding for BTC on a demo account. Like I said, this is all for entertainment purposes only. And again, if you want to know what is the indicator I'm using for the river value, comment below and I'll answer and give you the link on TradingView. And my affiliate link for TradingView is also down below this video, so just click on the link and get set up, guys, and then start practicing how to analyze these movements. Like, where would you enter in the river value, where would you exit, and looking at a higher time frame, because the higher time frame will tell you where price would eventually like to go, and all the other time frames are for you to enter at a better price, because it's obviously the minutia, and you want to get into the minutia part on the 1 minute, 2 minute, depending how long you're looking to trade. I mean, if you're looking at the 1 hour chart here and you're looking to hold it for at least 1 to 4 hours, then you can enter in on a higher time frame, say the 5, the 10, the 15 minute, and then you can hold it and you've got a good entry. But like I said, I tend to look at the 15-minute and then trade on the 1 minute, getting out on the 15-minute time frame, because that's going to mark the top or the bottom, depending if I'm in an uptrend or a downtrend. Anyway, I hope yesterday's video, over trading and revenge trading, was an eye-opener because I think there is a consensus that it's, not a good thing to do. And I do agree that it's not a good thing to do, but then you have to wonder why. And as everything, it comes down to common sense. If you're doing kind of like the wrong trade with the wrong tools, with the wrong methods, and it's giving you over trading, obviously you're not going to be a success with it. However, if you have the right tools, the right methods, and you're obviously, following the trend, then over trading is, a good thing, because that means you're obviously improving on your the health of your account, and that's always a good thing. So there's always, common sense to everything. So I think over trading is a term that's, kind of misused, in that if you are trading the wrong method, then, it doesn't make sense, does it really, to overtrade? But if you're trading a good method and you are following a way in which that price is going to either go up or down, and you're following that trend, then obviously there's nothing wrong with overtrading. It's a good thing. You're just helping your account balance grow faster. And the only caveat I would say to overtrading is obviously keep your health in check, because it's no good trading 24, 24/7 365. It's no good doing that, because you need to have a life outside of it. So obviously you can hold these trades, and they call that swing trading, where you hold over a longer period of time. So there's no need to like stay on the charts and sit it out. There's no need to do that. Like for me, I've held this overnight since yesterday's filming that video for you guys live trading BTC. I mean, I've held this overnight, and all I do is just put an alarm, a notification, which tells me if price hits this, or hits the top and the bottom, whichever comes first, then I'll take action. If it doesn't hit either of those notifications, then it's still trading, and the rest is just background noise. So allow it to simmer and do its thing. It's like when you're baking. If the bake takes an hour, stop opening the oven door, you're letting out the heat, that kind of thing. So anyway, I hope this helps you out. That's kind of like the ending to yesterday's kind of tutorial on using the river value and how that works. And today is just to show you the fancy indicator that kind of replaces the two EMA lines, the 8 and the 20. And as I say, if you would like if you'd like to know the indicator, comment below, and I'll leave it for you there. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hopefully the stock market will be, a banger tomorrow. I mean, it normally is, whichever way, because the open is just so violent with its gamma squeezes. Okay, guys, peace out.